Hi, I'm Raffaele Dincola for Fermento Brewery, and we are here in Basel at Didi Offensiv because we are getting things ready for the Pint of Science 2024. This will be held in Basel from May 13 until May 15. I'm a passionate microbiologist and I come from Italy. In 2006, I moved to Scotland first and then here in Switzerland. After the PhD in Scotland, I came here to work with biotech companies. It's only in 2017 that I started the Fermento Brewery. The science is in the name. In fact, we call Fermento because fermentation is the main feature of this product. And our brewery, Fermento, is the most Italian brewery in Basel. We love food and beer together, and we love science. We say that this is the Swiss beer brewed with Italian heart. So let's go back to Dundee, because I've got to share with you some great emotion and great memories about this place. So the week was about studying, doing experiments, but just before the weekend on Fridays, he was very much a habit to go with the prof in the pub. What we were doing was toasting with beer, then sharing a bit the research work being done, and also, of course, the plans for the weekend. My graduate supervisor at this time was the Walker, who will have a few minutes with us. And Glenn was very much like my older master. He's an expert in pharmacology, so the science of yeast, and we did fantastic work together. So in 2023, I met the guys of Pint of Science here at Basel, and already last year in this pub, we had a science event. That was just amazing and very nice. So today we are back here at Didi Offensiv, and we are getting ready for the event in 2024. As you know, Pint of Science has been born in in UK, not only in Scotland, and then was spread all over the place. So I thought them to connect with him again and to invite him over for this event. So again, we will be here May 15th, Monday, all afternoon at Didi Offensiv to give a talk about his work, but not only about that, more specifically for growing a perfect pint. Today we have Graham here, and we have a few questions for Graham. Graham, how are you today?
Very good, Raffaele, thank you, although the weather in Scotland is not so good.
Graham had a long career as a zymologist. Could you please tell us a bit more about the work you've been doing in the course of the years?
Yes, a lot of people ask what is zymology, but if you Google it, it will probably say something like zymology is the study of yeast science and fermentation technology. So for many years, I've been involved in yeast research. So that is yeasts applied for not just brewing of beer, but for other fermentation industries. We've also done work relating to wine and also food yeasts. And more recently, we've had an interest in yeast producing alcohol for biofuel, which is a big industry worldwide now, to try and cut down on carbon emissions.
Graham, as you know, we are here at Didi Offensiv for the Pint of Science. What is your experience with this festival?
Yes, I think the Pint of Science initiative that started a few years ago is absolutely fantastic. It's a way of making science more approachable and interesting to the general public. And this is all what we call outreach activity for academics, particularly to make their subjects more appealing to a wider audience. And previously, a few years ago, I've given a Pint of Science talk in Scotland. It was actually in a craft brewery and that was a very enjoyable experience. I think my topic was, believe it or not, yeasts again, and it was all about what yeasts can do for us, not just for the brewing industry, but for the wider industrial applications. So, yes, Pint of Science is a fantastic way of a platform, if you like, for scientists and academics to share their passion for their subject.
What is your opinion about science communication events and festivals? What do you think from both the sides of the scientists and from the community, that is the benefit for everyone?
It's a great initiative for scientists and university academics to make to share their subject material, their research activities with a wider audience. There are other initiatives which I think are also very good. There is, for example, in the UK, a comedy club for academics called the Bright Club, and this is for university professors, etc., to stand up in front of an audience and make their subject as humorous and as funny as possible, again, for the general public. And this is also presented at international festivals, for example, the Edinburgh Festival. And for some subjects, particularly my area, yeast, I've done it once, and it was the most nervous thing I've ever done, trying to make yeast and fermentation a funny subject through a comedy platform. But nevertheless, I think together with Pint of Science, I think it's all about trying to embrace wider audiences with your subject material. So I think outreach activities like Pint of Science, the Bright Club, there's also another one in the UK called Cafe Science, again, to give scientists an opportunity to share their passionate subjects with the general public.
So, Graham, you will be here for the Pint of Science on May the 5th. You will do a talk. Can you share with us a bit more about your presentation?
Yes, the topic that I've chosen to speak about in Basel is called Trouble Brewing. But I suppose it could also be entitled, rather than Pint of Science, it could be called Science of a Pint. And really it's all about how we make a perfect pint of beer, but also some of the dilemmas or problems that can occur in the brewing process. For example, brewers nowadays are trying to reduce their carbon footprint, to reduce carbon emissions, etc. And I'll introduce the topic of raw materials. Some raw materials used in brewing may not be as environmentally friendly as other raw materials. So I'll share some examples of alternative starch-based materials rather than malted barley for brewing beer, which is actually quite an interesting concept. I'll also be discussing some newer opportunities for the brewing industry, bearing in mind that we've been brewing beer for thousands of years. There are opportunities using new technologies to, for example, introduce new flavors into beer, using diverse yeasts, and even some yeasts that have been genetically modified to introduce specific flavors and aromas and other interesting characters to beer. So really my talk is about the science behind a pint of beer, but also introducing some things that can occasionally go wrong and how can brewers counteract the problems when they arise. So really that's the basis of my talk in Basel, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing it with a general audience in Switzerland.
Graham, many thanks. Thanks for your insights, and we are very much looking forward to having here. So, same for everyone. We are very much looking forward to have everyone here at Didi Offensiv on May 13, Pint of Science. Ciao.